Hi, it's Jeff Waite here with stockideas.org, and I have another book review for you today. I want to go over Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman. This book has actually been on my radar for quite a while, but one of my YouTube viewers asked me to do a review of it, so that was sort of the catalyst I needed to go ahead and finally read this book, and boy, am I ever glad I did. If you're unaware of the author, Daniel Kahneman, he is a Nobel Prize winning economist for his work in, I think, prospect theory is the thing that won the prize, but essentially behavioral economics and how our brain works and how that impacts our decision making. Thinking Fast and Slow, as you might have guessed from the title, is about essentially the two sort of systems in our brain, and I'm kind of paraphrasing and simplifying here, but the idea is that we have sort of a fast, intuitive part of our brain that guides most of our decisions, and then we have a more analytical, rational, but slower part of our brain that is not necessarily engaged all the time. And the book talks in detail about how these systems kind of work together and how they complement each other, and how they sometimes create illusions and tricks and fallacies that have impacts on our decision making. So just on a basic sort of psychological level, the book is really fascinating. It's well written. It's easy to read. There are tons of poignant examples and even exercises in the book where you can kind of follow along and say like, oh yeah, I see how this intuitive answer that I came up with in response to a question isn't actually logically correct, and here's why. So I quite enjoyed how engaging and illustrative the book was, and there are a lot of applications for investors and traders as well. So, for instance, one of the themes that comes up in the book is sort of the law of large numbers and statistics and chance and randomness and sequence. So, as an investor or trader, for instance, you might experience a number of losses in a row and start to question, whether your methodology makes sense or isn't working or something's changed. But according to Daniel Kahneman, there's a likely chance that it's really just a random string of unlucky losses, and that's it. And there's nothing more to it. And if you see things through, everything will revert to the mean over time. Another thing that comes to mind for investors is what they call the disposition effect, and essentially our brains don't like to sell losers. So if you have two stocks in your portfolio, a winner and a loser, your brain is, more likely to try to rationalize selling the winner so that you can feel like you won and you were right. Whereas in reality, it may make sense to sell the loser, or you should base your selling decision on the prospects going forward, not necessarily any sunk costs or feelings of being a winner or a loser. So I really, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. There are tons of examples in this book. It's about 420 pages, and just packed with insights about how our brains are often playing tricks on us and creating illusions. And I really recommend checking it out, even if you aren't interested in investing or trading. It still has tons of practical application for anybody who's just interested in, understanding how they can make better decisions and what are some common fallacies that people fall victim to. So with that in mind, I certainly recommend you check out Thinking Fast and Slow by this Nobel Prize winning author, Daniel Kahneman. If you're looking for more information on the book, I encourage you to just click the link below this video. That'll take you through to stockideas.org. You can read a much more in-depth book review. I've got some links to Amazon. You can click through and see the reviews there, and hopefully decide whether or not Thinking Fast and Slow is a a book that you'd like to read. So thanks again for everyone watching, for everyone sending me book ideas to review. I'm always looking for more reading materials, so please feel free to drop a comment if there's a book you want to see reviewed. You can also check out stockideas.org for many more book reviews, and click to subscribe to the channel. Thanks very much for watching.